once again, viewers, to this live miracle session. Today, we'll be discussing the power of sacrifice, and our anchor book is the book of Esther chapter 7, where we saw the queen needed a yes answer from the king at all costs, and she went about it by the way of sacrifice. First, she sacrificed her 3-day meal. Then she sacrificed her life, even by approaching the king when she was not called. She went further to sacrifice an expensive 2 days banquet before presenting her request to the king. What can we learn about the power of sacrifice? The Bible recorded that she got more than what she bargained for. She even got the life of her enemies. Many today are of the opinion that Jesus had paid the ultimate sacrifice for our healing, for our deliverance and salvation by his blood. And there is no need to offer any more sacrifices. The question we have to answer today is giving an act of sacrifice? Can we read the book of Esther chapter 7 from verse 1? It said, so the king and Haman came to the banquet which with Esther the queen. And the king said unto Esther on the 2nd day of the banquet of wine, what is thy petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed, even to the half of my kingdom. This is the king offering Esther a blank check, seeing the level and quantum of the sacrifices she had made. As children of God, it is very important that we come to God even with our offerings and sacrifices. Answer to prayers is a function of your relationship with God. Getting answers to your requests is a function of your relationship with God. How much have you invested in your relationship with God? Esther invested in her relationship with the king. Yes, we are all children of God, but we are not on the same level of relationship with God. Your level of sacrifice is your level of your relationship with God and with man. Many are related based on friendship. Many are related based on marriage. Many are related based on blood. And as such, your responsibility to people is a function of your relationship with them. Your responsibility to your parents is different from your responsibility to your children. Your responsibility to your children is different from your responsibility to your neighbor. Also, your responsibility to your neighbor is different from your responsibility to the man on the streets. This is how important your relationship is to God. In other words, your responsibility to God determines your relationship with him. How much are you responsible to God? How much are you responsible in God's kingdom? How much have you invested in the kingdom of God? Remember Peter's question to Jesus. Peter told Jesus, we have sacrificed all, we have left all and follow you. Jesus said, no one who have left father, left mother, left properties that will not have 100 times in this world and in the world to come, telling us how important our sacrifice, our giving is to receiving answers to our requests. It's very important to mention that the most important sacrifice is your life, your soul, your heart as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. This is why Jesus said, except a man be born again, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God. Meaning that except you live a righteous life, your sacrifice of giving, your sacrifice of love will not be acceptable unto God. Many complain today. They said, I have been praying, I have been giving, I have been working, yet I have not received answers to prayers. More important is your relationship with God than your sacrifice. The question is, are you living a righteous life? Are you living a holy life? Are you living a life that pleases God? When your life pleases God, then will your offerings and gifts be acceptable unto Him. When your life pleases God, then will your praise and worship ascend to heaven as a sweet-smelling savour. What else can we learn about the importance of sacrifice, about the power of sacrifice? Second, it's very important that we do not plan evil for your neighbor. It's very important that you don't plan evil for your neighbor, for your colleagues, for others. In verse 9 to 10 of Esther chapter 7, we saw the enemy of God people hanged and caught up in the trap he set for the people of God. Can you read verse 9? He said, and Habon, one of the chamberlain, said before the king, behold also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had